Dirty Diddy, we have to keep talking about him because he did not do any of this alone. He must have had plenty of enablers and accomplices. And I know you understand this. And the importance of this story must not ever stop because victims, survivors of sex trafficking, any form of exploitation, abuse, are looking at this case as the one case that might break through and justice may be served. And you know what? A lot of them tell me this is not about money. This is about they want to see justice served. We always have that power imbalance. Anything to do with sex trafficking, sexual exploitation, right? It is the vulnerable person and the person with the power. The person with the power is usually the one with influence, money, connections. Same goes for sex buyers. They have the power. They're buying something. Yet, plenty of studies show they may be paying for it. That's what the public always says. But they are exploiters, abusers to the nth degree. So let's get into this. But first, remember, you've got your homework. You got to subscribe to the Lynn's Warriors channel. We need to build community. We need to build algorithms. We need to build a space where all of this information can get out to you. Let's talk about Diddy. I have always maintained that we heard, I put we in parentheses, coming from the music business many decades ago, through the decades, having sources, having some boots on the ground, having people report to me, that there was always a child element to the whole Diddy Bad Boy Entertainment music rap scene. Now, again, we are based on proof. So this is what I'm reporting to you that I heard or maybe. I don't have actual proof. But today a story broke that a then 10-year-old boy in 2005, so 19 years ago, wanted to be in show business, and his parents hired some sort of music slash entertainment. He wanted to be an actor, apparently also an entertainment consultant. When I hear something like entertainment consultant, run for the hills. But anyway, I digress. They brought the boy to New York City. The consultant was going to introduce him around. Long story short, brought him to Diddy's office so that he could perform, audition, I guess you would say, for him. There was a separation of the consultant taking the child, away from the parents alone to Diddy's office. And there was a separation of the child going into Diddy's office alone, a male, a 10-year-old boy. The story is, and how can I say this? Because, we do have algorithms here. He was alone with Diddy. And the lawsuit I will have in the body of this video so you can read it for yourself. Things happened. But the usual MO of being served a soda, remember it's a 10-year-old, and then the child reporting, alleging he did not feel well, alleging he became woozy, and then things occurred. Again, you will read the lawsuit for yourself because we're a family show, and I am so disgusted by this. But again, there was somebody else, this young man now, boy at the time, reported there was another person in the room with Diddy. It seems to be the same playbook, the same MO, method of operation. And this child was told by Diddy, allegedly, what would you do to be famous? And the child responded something like, I would do anything, which is probably the response you would get out of a lot of kids and certainly a lot of adults. And therefore, things played out allegedly. I'm going to keep saying that because I was not there, and this is a lawsuit just filed by the Tony Busby Law Office, the law office handling over 120 cases based out of Houston of all of this abuse purportedly by Diddy. But I want to get back to, so the boy then left this audition, and the handler thought, the consultant thought, well, he was acting a little strange. But here's the clicker. Diddy, in the usual playbook, allegedly said to this boy when he left the office, because a lot of people say, why wouldn't he scream? Why wouldn't he run? Why wouldn't he report it? Look, in cases of abuse, we see this with adults. They're kind of frozen. They go along with it. They don't know what else to do. A 10-year-old certainly might think, if I'm hearing this from adults, this is the normal behavior to be famous, get ahead in the music business. You've got to do this horrible stuff, whatever is asked of you. So the child then went back to the consultant. The consultant thought he was acting weird. La da 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 da. That was it. But Diddy said to him, allegedly, if you tell anybody, I'll ruin your parents, I'll harm your parents. And that is the classic thing that every single victim reports to a survivor. We will harm. We know where your family is. We will harm them. We know about your siblings. We will harm them. We know you have a dog. We will harm him or her. It's the same playbook, which means we have to empower our kids. We have to train them, educate them that nobody's allowed to touch them, violate them. And I'm sorry, parents, do not hand your child over to, I don't care how many promises somebody makes. They're going to make you a star. They're going to bring you to New York. You may fall for that. Okay, so maybe 1% of the time something works out that's legitimate. I would recommend running for the hills if somebody recommends, oh, baby, you got it. I'm going to make you a star. But do not ever, if you're going to go along with all this, do not ever leave the side of your child, ever. You have the right as a parent. The child is a minor. A child cannot consent. You are putting your child into the hands of a predator. So that being said, the lawsuit was filed. And I want to know, we're into what, about 6 weeks of this with the Dirty Diddy case? Yes, I call him Dirty Diddy. I don't call him by any other names because he's dirty, okay? I look at him, he's dirty. I've always looked at him dirty, okay? Just from rumors people told me about him. I can't figure out a couple of things. Why now, after decades, we have stories going back to 1990, 91, 92, 93, okay? It's a long time. That's many decades. Why now for Dirty Diddy? Somewhere, somehow, someone was just done with him. I'll let your imaginations run a little wild. And number two, where are the names? Tony Busby, the attorney, said he would start naming names a couple of weeks ago. Where are the names of the enablers, the accomplices? You don't have a well-oiled machine like this that goes on for decades without a lot of staff helping you, without transportation, assistants booking hotels, booking car services, bringing people shopping for clothes. The audition process we're also hearing about for these freak-off parties, that's the name these parties were given, where all kinds of things went on with, you heard about the baby oil. Okay, I don't have to go into that again. But where the list of, reportedly, the list of a woman cannot have tattoos, a woman cannot be over 140 pounds, a woman has to have long hair. But nowhere, the informant who put forth there was this list of requirements, nowhere, she claims, was there ever a question asked, what is your age? Nowhere. We have always heard about minors and Diddy. Heard about it, so I don't have proof. Now we have last week a 13-year-old at the time, girl coming forward. This week we have a 10-year-old at the time, 2005, boy coming forward. You will be hearing about a lot more coming forward. Again, I'm going to be putting the story in the body of this video because it's just too dirty and disgusting to sit here and tell you these salacious details. I don't want to do that. I want you to have takeaways. If your child's wants to be in show business, urge them to wait till they're 18. Number two, if you're going to pursue this, understand the pitfalls, the dangers, and let this Dirty Diddy story be a lesson. Nobody gives you anything for free. It is a grueling, down and dirty business. I am here to attest to that. And you know what? If you do pursue it, you do not leave the side of your child at all. That is your right, no matter what anybody says to you. You don't leave a set. You don't leave an audition room. You don't leave a dressing room. You don't leave an office. Nothing. And then three, let's think about where are and why aren't all these enablers, accomplices, assistants? Why isn't anybody else being charged? Why is Dirty Diddy the only one in jail right now, right? I understand. Some of them are turning evidence, whatever you want, but that doesn't get at the fact. He had a lot of help. This was that well-oiled machine of exploitation, and we want justice. Stay tuned. I hear a lot more stories will be breaking this week about Dirty Diddy, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. Minors? throw away the keys. Community creates change. That is our Warriors hashtag. Please honor it. And you know what? You can do that by waking up every day and going out and being a warrior.